Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how I style my daughter's hair when I do her braids. This style will last for 2 weeks if you keep it up and put the scarf on overnight and touch as needed. So right now I'm going to part her hair. I like to part her hair in 3 different sections. And this way, if you part early, all you have to do is just take your hair at a time. So right now I'm just doing, I think I'm doing like triangle type style. Oh, I was fixing her middle part for the back of her head because I like to separate the front from the back and do one section at a time. And then in this first section, I'm going to divide that into 3 parts. So it makes it 10 times easier when it's time to braid. So I'm just making sure her part is a little accurate. And I didn't show what products I was using, but first I start out with is jam. I like to lay her edges down and make sure that when I put it in, it sticks. And then I just use a little bit of leave-in conditioner, and that is pretty much it. And as you can see, I'm just braiding like a normal plait. I thought I hit the play button, but I didn't. I apologize. But you'll see me do more as it goes on. And when you get to the end, just make sure you curl it with your finger because you don't want the braid to come unloose. Sometimes it will and sometimes it won't. So now I'm moving on to her next section. And this is why it's so important to part prior and just move it out the way, because it makes it easier when you're moving on to the next step. And all I do is I divide that part into halves and I complete the same set up. You probably cannot see that, but I basically have a fingertip of jam so that way you guys can see how much I'm using. And I do the same for the leave-in conditioner, and I just spread it from the beginning of her hair to the ends, and then I use my brush to make sure it's evenly dispersed, especially on her ends, because you got to protect those babies. And then I'm just basically going to do a plait. I like to do underhand or overhand, whichever works for you. Overhand works better when I'm doing the top of her hair, but when I'm doing like the middle towards the back, I do underhand. So I finished the first half of her head. As you can see, all her hair looks pretty good until we get to the beading part. And now I'm going to do the same setup as I did with the front of her hair. I'm going to do 3 sections. So I'm going to do the front, the middle, and then the back. And you can do it however you want, but this works best for me. I told you guys before, when you part it prior, it makes it so much easier when you go to move on to your next set of plaits. And I'm doing the same setup as the front of her hair. I'm using jam and then leave-in conditioner, and I'm going to brush both products together to make sure it's evenly dispersed into her hair. And your parts do not have to be 100% accurate. I mean, no one's going to have their parts that good, but I don't stress about that part, because if you do, you will sit there and waste hours trying to get parts down. Just keep practicing as you continue to do your child's head. And now I'm going to be quiet and just fast forward all this until we get to the beading part. I show you guys how I use beads and put them on her head. And now she's done looking like a little boy, but that's all right. We're going to make her girly as ever. She loves colorful beads, so that's what we're going for. And when you get beads, make sure they have the bead holder in them, because this will make your process 10 times easier. Trust me. And I'm going to use about 5 on each braid. And if you don't know how to put beads in your hair with a bead holder, all you're going to do is put the plait in between the bead holder, pull it through, and push those beads on up, and then pull out the hair, so that way you can wrap the last bead with the hair with your rubber band. And you're going to do that around and around until you feel like it is secure. And she's all done just like that. Again, like I said, this style typically lasts about 2 weeks. It's a lifesaver because I do not like doing hair every day. And what I do is I just fix her front if needed, and I make sure she puts her scarf on. And I have a braiding spray that I put in her hair during the week. So that keeps it to be healthy and fresh at the same time. And this will help your child's hair to grow. When I first started doing this, my child's hair was really short, and now it's growing and growing and growing. The best.